Hello, my YouTube darlings. Long time no painting video. It's been a full month and I'm so excited to be able to finally get another one out. This month has just been crazy. Work has exploded and my friends made me go to Miami. Yeah, I know. Poor me. And so I'm finally back at it and I finished this lovely little sea creature nymph. And I'm calling her Squelch. And I think it's pretty obvious why. Her head, as it moves around, probably makes a lot of squelching noises. And this one started out as just a little doodle where I do a practice, or I try to do a practice where every day I do a 20-minute sketch, and I've been posting them on my Instagram if you want to see what they look like. But I do a 20-minute sketch, and then this one was just so cute and inspired an entire painting after I sketched her. So I started out with an acrylic sketch, and then once I put down the acrylic base of colors and I decided I liked it all, I went in with oils. And she was definitely challenging. I used a reference. You should always use a reference. And yeah, I'm really excited to share this with you. I have some other really exciting news. I finally published my Patreon and I got my first patron, and I'm super excited. And if you guys are interested in checking it out, I would really appreciate it. Any support is welcome. You know, $1, $5, anything you can. And that's also a wonderful way to commission me. If you want to commission me, you can check out my Patreon, and there is a tier specifically for commissions. And there are different levels of commissions. So it's a great place to kind of interact with me. And if you want to get yourself some custom Whitney Paige art, that would be the place to do it. I'm going to put the link in the description, but if you go to patreon.com/WhitneyPaige, that's me. I finally have a Patreon. I'm really excited. And I have a Patreon. I'm super excited about that too. So maybe that one will turn into 2, and then 3, and then who knows? You know, the sky's the limit on Patreon. So, alright, let's get back on track here. So this took maybe 12 or 15 hours over the course of like 6 or 7 sittings and different days. I was able to work a few hours here and there. So here is where I'm in the acrylic section switching to oil. And you'll notice there's a chunk of footage missing where I went and filled in the face with oils and started doing the texture on the tentacles. Unfortunately, I have a new camera and I was not familiar with its limits, and I had not realized that it was not recording at that time, and I apologize for that. I wish I could somehow go back in time and get that footage, but I cannot. Hopefully I will learn my lesson and do better in the future. So I want to go back to how this month was crazy, and doing this painting was several separate sittings of a few hours each. Because it took me several months to complete this painting, even though it only took me 12 to 15 hours. And that is something that I have a battle within myself on, and there is this pressure that I've put on myself to create art, and I think other artists do this. And it's not necessarily healthy. Like for me, I have a full-time job, and I'm sure there's other artists out there that also have full-time jobs. And then relationships, friendships, and life things that get in the way, and then, you know, you're sitting there kicking yourself in the butt for, you know, not focusing or not getting it done, and you have to take a step back sometimes. I have to take a step back sometimes because I have all this pressure to create this artwork, but it's not healthy to stress about it. And while stressing about art is my favorite kind of stress, when you're piling on the other stresses of life, you really don't need to be stressing out about doing something you're passionate about, and that's something that I need to work on as well, and I feel like that's a common thing for a lot of artists. So I just wanted to bring it up as a topic because hopefully hearing me say it will help out any other artists out there who's just creating more stress for themselves when they don't need to be. Art's supposed to be fun, and when you're doing it because you love it, it's not something that you need to constantly be pressuring yourself over. Like, oh my god, I need to create a YouTube video. Oh my god, I need to create another painting. And oh my god, I haven't posted on my social media. And there's so much that goes along with trying to like get your startup going. But it's important to also take a step back and be kind to yourself. Self-care is really important. You can't create good art and you're useless to everybody if you aren't taking care of yourself. So that's my little nugget of advice. Hopefully it helps out somebody. I know that I need to hear that one pretty often, so hopefully I can just spread a little bit of that for everybody else. And if you guys have any tips or tricks or comments and concerns in regards to that, please let me know. And then back to the painting, you'll notice that I had a little bit of trouble getting the eyes to line up, and that's another thing I really want to discuss. And I was considering making a video specifically where I slow down the fixing of her right eye, but when we look at it, it'll be her left. And I wanted to do a video where I slowed it down, where it's more real time, and explain step by step how I lifted that eye. Because as an artist, you want to make sure you're putting out quality work. And there was a time when I was younger in my art career that I would have just said, screw it, I'm already this far in, fixing it now is going to create so much extra work and it's going to be hard and I'm going to have to go back. And that's not a very good mindset to have when you're an artist. You want to have the mindset that you're going to put out quality no matter what. Like you're not going to just give up the first time something's a little off. You want to persevere, and then I can guarantee if you go back and fix that thing that is bothering you on that painting before you finish, if you catch it in time, then you will feel so much better. You'll feel so much happier about the painting in the long run. It won't sit there and bother you forever. And then, you're putting out the quality that you're going to be proud of. It's not something that you painted it, but you don't really like it in the end, and you're not going to show anybody because you're not really proud of it. No. If you take the time while you're painting to fix your errors so that you're putting out quality, then you're even prouder of it because you got through the struggle of creating the art, and you want to show people because it's beautiful and you're proud of yourself. And there's nothing wrong with taking a little bit longer just so you can make it right and be happy. I would love to hear from you guys if you've ever had anything like that happen, where you just had this horrible mistake but you persevered and it came out great. Those are the kind of stories people want to hear. Those feel good, I did it stories. I'd love to hear them. So back to the painting. I took my time on this painting because I really wanted to build up the dimension, and this was extra hard because all of the shadows underwater have a blue tint to them. Everything's got kind of blue goggles on. You're looking through the water, so some of that ocean colored tint gets on a bit of everything. And trying to do that but also maintaining a skin tone is difficult, and it takes extra time. So if you're somebody who wants to do that, just give yourself some extra time to build up those blue shadows and maybe let them dry before you try to blend in the warm tones of the skin. And then maybe take some extra time to blend it together. It's definitely more of a challenge doing that, but I think it came out exactly as I was hoping, which the more you work on your art, the more often you will have things come out exactly the way you planned. Also, I think the more you work on your art and when you get your quality up to a certain level, it's okay if things don't go exactly as you planned because you're going to be happy with the quality that you put out. That's why practice is so important all the time. You got to constantly be working on it and also not being hard on yourself. It's this fine balance of, yes, I've practiced today, but also I'm not going to pressure myself into getting all worked up and stressed out about creating a full finished piece. As long as you're doing a little bit here and there and every day is a little bit of progress, you should be proud of yourself, because then that's a succeed. And sometimes if you take a day and do absolutely nothing, that is a successful day, because if that's what your body and your mind and your spirit needed at that time, then it's okay to give yourself a day off and to chill. and to replenish yourself, because it goes back to making sure that you have that self-care. I think that's something artists tend to regularly avoid, or not avoid, but they miss it. They're so busy trying to juggle life and also create the art that makes them happy that they start to stress about it, and then they, like, the things that they tend to forget to do end up biting them later, because you're useless again. You're useless if you haven't done it, if you haven't gotten yourself to a place of happiness, if you're not taking care of yourself. If you let yourself get run down by life, then you're not going to be happy with anything that you're doing, because you're going to be tired all the time. So take your time. Be nice to yourself. So, I'm coming to the end of the video. I've got maybe a couple minutes left as I put on my finishing touches. I'd love to know what you guys think about these golden jellyfish. They were so much fun to do, and getting their like golden tentacle things come off of them, that was really fun. And the barnacles were like a last minute thought, and I'm so excited that I put them on. They just make it look so finished and fulfilled. So I was talking in one of my last videos that I have my website being built right now, and it is so close to being done. I can see the finish line. So that's going to be announced soon. So if you were interested in getting prints, you can get them on my Patreon or also directly on my website. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's always a pleasure, and I'm always happy to be able to put stuff out for you. As always, like and subscribe, and again, check out that Patreon. It's patreon.com/WhitneyPaige. Thanks so much, loves. See you next time. Bye.